Someone who cheated 99% of the time has cheated before. Someone who is very jealous 99% of the time was very jealous before. Someone who is extremely avoidant 99% of the time was extremely avoidant before. Someone who's extremely anxious 99% of the time extremely anxious before. We think these things are from us. And again, sometimes we trigger more or less of them, but it really is still an inside job. And I feel that often we pretend we don't have these things. I'm a clean slate, especially for women, the clean slate, purity, consciousness, white Madonna, virgin bride. I come with no history. And we feel that we have to pretend this role. And then when we come into it, it's, oh, and I had this experience and that experience. And again, both parties just understanding that lifes you, like if you're a human above 18, I will say you've had at least one relatively traumatic experience in your life, if anything, just watching what's going on in the world. And just to be honest from the beginning. And if your honesty pushes someone away, then they are not ready for a real relationship. If you saying, hey, sometimes I get anxious and I overthink and I get really in my head about things, and that makes me, sort of get quiet. And, in times like that happens, I would really appreciate physical touch. If you saying that is they're like, you get anxious? Excuse me, buzzkill, I can't have that. I need you to be in a good mood all the time. Well, they were looking for role play. And unless you want to engage in role play, that's not going to be a real relationship. So better to know earlier on than 6 months, 1 year, 5 years down the line, which is often when people have enough courage or actually can't help because life will just bring forth those situations. I will be surprised if you even make it to 5 years. Normally in the first year, these situations happen. And the beauty is when we're honest about it, it's not like coming out of left field or feeling like we were betrayed or surprised or taken back and the trust thing that happens, but rather it's just coming forth with honesty. And again, and you got to be honest with yourself too. Like if someone came forth to you, it's okay, I'm talking to the woman right now because we got to work on this. If a man came forth to you and shared his shadows, if he said, hey, in the past, I've struggled with pornography use. Hey, in the past, I've struggled with gambling addiction. Hey, in the past, I've cheated. I'm working and I've been working on it. And this is my journey. And that's part of it. How would you feel? And again, I feel it's situational. But I feel as women, we also need to be more forgiving that men are humans. And that was another really big theme, especially my ayahuasca ceremony. I'm going to speak to the divine feminine space right now. I see often these posts on Instagram that can be very empowering. It's like, wait for your king. He is a god. He chooses you fully. You are the Cleopatra in his life. There is no one but you. And he wants to provide for you. He wants to protect you. He wants to give you a slow, soft, gentle life. Soft girl season forever. He wants you to be a Pilates trad wife. He wants you to be at the farmer's market. He's gonna hunt for you. He's gonna farm for you. He's gonna look good while doing it. He's gonna be emotionally available, sensitive, tantric, light worker, in his masculine, has done David Data work, Vipassana, ayahuasca, but not too much. He's not too conscious. He doesn't even know what the conscious community is. He doesn't even have Instagram. He doesn't even talk to girls. You're the first girl he's met, but he still has great experience with women. Where he at though? And so I saw myself falling for that shit. I'm calling it out. Should this just be called the Call Out podcast now? I'm calling it out because I was like, yes, that's him. That's him right there. Yes, my mountain man who's never been on social media yet finds me. you know. And again, I'm not saying that doesn't exist. Please comment below if you are that person. But what I'm saying is we collectively as women are like creating this like Aquaman Santa Claus guy in our heads, and it's like all the same guy. Like if we look at all of our Pinterest boards, he's just Jason Momoa. Like we're all collectively thinking of this one guy. He's like this like Viking man with tribal tattoos, but he's a poet and he's strong and emotionally available and sensitive, but courageous and, you know, all of the things at the same time in the perfect amount, especially for you, and only chooses you and knows you and never has a doubt of anything in his life, and especially you forevermore. It's starting to sound funny when I say it out loud, right? And again, I am not knocking on any of those qualities. I think these are all great qualities to strive for. And realistically, guess what? I'm going to whisper this one. Men are humans. Yeah. I'm going to say that one more time. Men are humans. They're humans. They're humans. Who would have thought? I mean, I realized the boys were, but I thought the men, they were half God, right? Right? Where are they at, though? Do you know any? I actually haven't met any. Have you? Has anyone met this guy? No, let's all be real right now. Out of all the relationships you know, all the men you know, like, do you know anyone that's like 90% of this guy? 80%? 50? Maybe 50. On a good day. 'Cause men are humans, they are human. Men are human too, just like us. So if we want someone to accept us as we are, birthmarks and all, guess what we have to do to accept them as they are used to? Because men are mere mortals. We all came from the same portal. So as soon as we see each other, we can be in love with one another. So it's time to recognize, that we all want the same time, we want to love one another. So we must stop judging each other, 'cause men are humans. They are humans, men are humans. They are humans too. Men are humans. Yes, they humans. And guess what? Women are too. So we want someone to accept us in our frizzy hair and our humanity and our full spectrum and our highs and lows and shadows and emotions and laughter and joy. And we're breaking barriers of what women have ever been before. You got to keep up with us. But you, my friend, you got to stay Lord Shiva at all times. Do you see? We can't play this game, conscious woman. We can't. I'm calling myself forward, because what the medicine really showed me was I was looking for a God. And I do believe, and I still desire, to worship whoever my man is in the future as a God, to worship the God within him, the aspect of him that is godly, just like we all have one, and to be with someone who, and this is what we want, someone that we look up to, someone that inspires us, someone who listens to us, holds space for us, honors us, cherishes us. And these are beautiful and worthy things that we all are deserving of and capable of having. But let me tell you, it's not always going to feel like all of that all the time. Just like you are beautiful and worthy and creative and smart and capable, and you also don't feel like that all the time.